He promised me a spot on his reality show if it ever gets off the ground.
Reality show? Isn't he getting a little ahead of himself?
I don't know. I'm just along for the ride.
You interested?
Are you entertained?
Should we take our shirts off?
Would it help at all?
This movie did it anyway.
Mm-hmm. We watched a movie today.
1313 Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. I don't fucking know.
These movies are getting more and more incoherent. And the thing is, though, I have no idea the chronological order in which these movies were made.
No, yeah.
But
they're getting worse.
In the
order we picked, we're getting worse.
Billy the Kid literally is the most coherent movie we have seen.
Out of 3, not counting Talking Cat.
Well, Talking Cat is not a part of the 1313 series, so. But, like, I mean, out of David Duchovny's movies that, you know, were...
Right. Anyway, Bermuda Triangle. Let's just get the plot out of the way, because it's a silly little thing that doesn't need to be included in these films.
Treasure Hunt.
Treasure Hunt, there you go. It opens up with this... Actually, it opens up with going blue. People walk into this house, and they ask around, they say, hello, 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 hello. And then something happens with electricity, and they're suddenly strapped to something and struggling for 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes each. Not even kidding. And then there's some sort of plot about a guy who's a treasure hunter who discovers this black box from an airplane and some sort of lost civilization. Not entirely sure. It ends up being a whole bunch of guys never wearing shirts and usually not pants either, swimming and talking about how they don't trust this Sean guy after he kills a guy named Francisco. That happens, not important. And then it turns out that it was Atlantis. Yeah. Atlanteans did the whole thing. And then another guy gets strapped up for some reason and struggles.
It's Milo's return all over again. The Atlanteans are responsible for everything.
Look, I'm just going to say this now. Plots for the rest of 1313, I doubt they're going to get coherent. I doubt at any given point I'm going to be able to say, here's event A, leading to B, leading to C. I'm just going to say, this happened, and then that happened, and stuff.
Alright. You're going to hear, and I have a feeling, you're going to hear us using the term going blue a lot during these movies.
Going blue. It seems to be a recurring thing in David Duchovny's films.
So far.
So far.
We've seen it in 2.
If it means, no, 3. It happened in...
Did it happen? I don't remember having it.
Remember, it was always yellow, and then it changed to blue every once in a while. And
yeah, so it was the dream sequences.
Yes, going blue.
It's always the dream.
Going blue in David Duchovny's film seems to mean this isn't real in some aspect. It could be a dream sequence. It could be a nightmare.
But in this movie, I'm not sure.
An alternate reality, fourth dimension.
You're in the limp dick Cenobites area.
Point being, it's not real. So if we ever say going blue, that means that, and the reason why is because he has a blue filter. That's it. Like, whereas Billy the Kid was all yellow, this is all blue.
You know how Dario Argento does, like, really awesome, really extremely vivid color correction where, like, some colors are ridiculously vivid? Yeah, this isn't that.
No.
No, this movie is
just dim blue.
Blue sheen. Blue everywhere. Yeah. I feel this should be an Eiffel 65 music video. What does it say? I'm blue, I'm a dee-da-da-da.
Anyway,
but
this movie.
Alright. This movie didn't make me nearly as angry as Cougar Cult did, but at the same... Well, as soon as it got to Atlantis, David just lost it.
I was out. I was out.
And that was only like 10 minutes left in the movie.
I was gone. Yeah, guess what happens? It's an hour and a half long-ish. Guess what happens?
Including credits, yeah.
Yeah, in the first hour and 10 minutes. Correct answer. Not a goddamn thing. At all.
Somebody does die, and actually that was edited.
Does he?
Competently. Francisco.
He came back, though.
He came back.
Was
but
that
he
a
still died?
Was that a dream?
Well,
was
it wasn't
Atlantis?
blue. It wasn't
was
blue.
Is he still in David Tucker's home?
Yes.
Okay.
I will give you the answer. Yes.
All right. So let's just talk about. I think we may be able to do bullet points for this one. There were just enough.
Okay, characters.
Characters.
There were actually a couple defined characters.
There was Echo the reporter.
She was...
She's a lady.
A limp reporter and whatnot. She did not give a flying fuck.
She knows how the coral reef has been acting up.
Oh, I love how it was like, even if it's a bust, it's still a great story.
Oh, yeah. She's reporting on this treasure hunting guy named Sean, who we'll get to in a second.
Do you even journalist? Do you even journalism, bro? I mean...
Sean is a treasure hunter who's found a black box diving or something from an airplane.
Apparently he has built a career off of finding lost treasures.
But this will be his legacy.
He's like the Nathan Drake, but douchey.
He's not even on par with Nathan Drake.
No, he's not smart.
Fuck Nathan Drake.
No, Nathan Drake's awesome.
Oh, wait. Yeah, fuck this guy.
So you just said fuck Nathan Drake?
I'm sorry!
Don't you diss the Uncharted games!
No, I meant fuck Sean. I love Nathan Drake as well. But yeah, she is reporting on his treasure hunting thing because he contacted her or something. I don't know.
Because plot.
Was there even? Do you even plot?
It was there.
I don't see it.
Somewhere.
I was going to say, it skittled. Anyway.
Well, the plot was them going to recover this treasure and...
If your entire plot, not a plot synopsis, not a description, the plot of events can be described in one sentence, you're not doing enough.
Not necessarily. No, that's not necessarily true. Because when you are called to pitch an idea, you're usually supposed to summarize it in at
that's
least two
plot
sentences.
synopsis. That's what I'm saying. Plot synopsis
well, it's
is
more like a long line.
Is the boiling down of the plot into one sentence. This is describing every single event that happens in the film. You can do that in one sentence, you're doing something wrong. Bitch. Alright, characters.
I could do it. I could actually summarize this plot in one word. One word. Confusion.
Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that, to us, we were confused.
All the characters looked like they were confused. All the actors like, what the
I'm not even sure they were. Alright, hold on.
Okay, it's your movie, man.
Let's try to do characters. So
it's like some of you guys on the sets of my movies. It's on the set of chapters. It's like, I don't know what the fuck this movie's about, but all right.
It's like, wait a minute. So when does this happen in the timeline?
So what exactly?
After everything else? Okay.
What's going on? It's like, who are these characters? Who is this guy? Why are they doing these things? I don't know. It's like, is it a character study? Is it just lazy?
Point being, let's get back to characters real quick.
It's relatable to this fucking piece of shit.
You had Echo the reporter, who she was the only woman in the movie.
I love how her name was Echo.
Yeah,
that was actually clever
in the film.
I don't think
we saw it in the credits.
Maybe I don't know.
If we said in the film.
I can't remember. These movies are so forgettable.
Anyway,
these movies are so.
Then you had Sean, the treasure hunter guy. Okay, he's a treasure hunter. He's a douche. He's walking around like, hey. I don't want you to fuck this up for me. This could be my legacy. And
this is my legacy.
Yep.
This is my legacy, yo.
There's Francisco, the black guy. That's the only reason he's around.
He dies, too.
He dies. He's the first to die. Unless, if you consider Going Blue dying, maybe he's not.
No, I don't think, if anything else, you're just imprisoned or anything like that. So, even if it's not real or alternate or it's still not being killed. So, yeah. And actually, I think he's the only one that actually dies.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the black guy is not only the first, but the only one to die.
Then you got Clay. Clay is I guess, he's the Atlantean. He's the one who's coming in and is like, you stole my artifact, and we need it. And we have traveled through the fourth dimension and learned the ancient ways of...
You think it's such three-dimensional terms.
Yes. The whole thing about Clay is he was the best way to put it is the twist dump. Whereas some guys are the expositional dump, he was the twist dump. He revealed why this was supernatural. It wasn't the Bermuda Triangle. No.
Atlantis.
It was Atlantis.
It was Atlantis.
In the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, and then there was Gay Guys 1 through 23.
There were so many. See, the thing is, in horror films, for the people who are just like throwaways to be killed to the executioner's block, there's a term for this. I'm going to put this down here. There's a term for this. They are called the meat. Now, the problem is with this film, that term takes on a different definition. But not only that, the meat.
The meat.
Exactly. But, problem being, this doesn't even qualify as even softcore porn. Alright, now, the joke about softcore porn is that, you know, it's called softcore because it doesn't get you hard. Yeah. But the thing is, with this doesn't even qualify. Now, like, this is primarily for either a homosexual or a female crowd, because it's all these barely, you know, dressed guys just walking around in their underwear.
Here's a scene from this.
The guy takes his bathing suit off and he has boxers or briefs or whatever the fuck they are underneath.
The first time we knew there was a problem was because in Cougar
it was the
Cult,
first scene.
In Cougar Cult, when they were to get in the shower, they implied they took off their underwear to get in the shower. When in reality, because he loves panning down, you were able to see they were still wearing them. This guy hopped in the shower. They showed him taking it off. Not like below the belt or anything like that, but they showed he bent down and took it off. And then as he was panning down, David was much more comfortable showing lower angles because he knew his underwear wasn't there.
I don't know David's sexual preference. I really don't care.
David, you can like whatever you want to like and film whatever you want to film.
The problem is this. If you're trying to go for an erotic form, you need to know what eroticism is like.
You can't have a TV-14 rating. I
have seen a deal of David DeCoteau's films, even before 1313, actually. I've seen a handful of his movies. I've seen a handful of his Puppet Master films. None of them are good. I'm sorry, David. None of them are good. I've seen Creepazoids, which was a stupid movie. I mean, like, it had some parts to it and whatnot. But this guy came from, like, 85. He came out of the latter half of the schlocky effects movies from the 1980s, the supernatural, the sci-fi ones and whatnot. Like, Puppet Master was one of the big ones.
Which may be what carried into this part of the thing, where every film has to have supernatural aspects.
Well, I'm guessing that's exactly where it came from, but at the same time, like, this is the same movie. This is the same movie as the last two. I'm guessing, I don't know what the significance of the number 1313 is. I don't know. I don't know why he chose it. I don't know what the point is. But
he planned on making 1,313 of these films.
That would be horrifying. This torment would never end.
Nope.
It never would, because we never would be able to finish.
Nope.
The entire rest of the show would be devoted to that series.
Oh, God.
And also, the thing is, though, like, he would still be making them right now. Like, he'd have to churn out, like, a movie a week.
I'm sure he could.
Oh, my God. They would be even worse quality than they are now.
Yeah. All right. So, we talked about...
Oh, that's just nauseating.
We talked about characters, I guess. It's not really a big deal. Let's talk about the writing. Let's talk about, first off, the plot, and then we'll go into dialogue. The plot of this film.
I mean, to be honest, it's basic, like, you know, treasure hunting story, encounters mystical force.
No, it isn't.
Hold on.
Okay.
The story. Take the entire rest of the movie out of context. The story.
You want me to take those 5 words, treasure hunting meets mystical shit. You want me to take that. That is the story.
There's plenty of movies that works.
No. That's what. But you're saying that's the story?
Yeah.
Okay, I can take those 5 words. You elaborate any more on treasure hunting or mystical, you lost me.
Why?
Because Atlantis, because they didn't do anything...
I said cut Atlantis out of it.
Why would we... That's the whole thing!
Well, that's
what they built up to so poorly.
I know, but the thing is, though, like, that's exactly the point. It was thrown at the end, because, it's like, we have no other way out. I know this. We have no other way out.
We talked about a black box.
Atlantis. It's the red herring. It's the scapegoat.
Mayan Doomsday. Whoop.
9/11. Like,
Bigfoot. Loch Ness Monster. Chupacabra.
God did it. I don't know. It's like, but like, yeah, it's just, the thing is though, like, there are a couple movies where, like, or not necessarily just mystical force, but like an unknown and ununderstandable force. Like one of the big
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones is like one of the best examples of that. And the thing is though, if you really look at the Indiana Jones movies, they're tongue-in-cheek action movies played on 1940s action serials from television. And
until you get to the fourth.
It doesn't exist. You heard me, Lucas.
Why are you angry at Lucas for that? I can think of 1,000 reasons why I'm angry at Lucas.
I'm angry at Lucas for so much. We're gonna rant on you, Lucas.
The Kurtikers! The Kurtiker!
Just fuck you. Alright, no. We'll go back to David the Cocteau.
It's tongue-in-cheek action.
It's but this movie, like, it obviously, for the script, when I was trying to take the script just as itself, without the horrible acting and all that stuff like involved with it, it's a really basic script. Like, every single character has their stereotype. Like, you know, like...
You got the douchebag, you got the girl, you got the gay guy, 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 you got the black guy, you got the gay guy.
It's like, you have the one guy who's, like, really knowledgeable and he's really condescending.
Oh, yeah, the tech guy at the beginning.
And, like, well, not just that, there's also the tech guy. And then, like, the main, Sean is, like, the beefy guy, but also he's the treasure hunter, so he's the one who's leading the
expedition. He's kind of, like, greedy in a way.
And then there's, the one female character, of course, is the reporter. Yeah. She's,
the April O'Neil.
The April O'Neil of the group. And so, like, all these stereotypes are there, but the problem is none of the actors play the parts at all. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, even if they are trying, if any of them are trying, or any of them gave a slightest shit for whatever they're doing, no.
Okay, now, hold on. I want to interrupt here. Go off on my tangent, my rant. You were saying how the script is a basic, treasure hunting needs mystical force. Okay?
The original story is. Yes. The rest of that stuff
See, but that's what we need to inform them of. It starts off with treasure. No, it starts off with guy tied to a gym machine. And then it goes again into a guy tied to, what was the second one?
It wasn't the stairs.
The stairs, right.
It was funny, too, because with the gym machine, the guy was tied up to 1 point, and on the stairs, the guy was tied to 2 points.
Arms out.
And then the third one, the guy was tied up with the bed with 4.
And then the last guy was tied to the shower. Again, only 1. But,
only 1, so it kind of brought it back.
But the shower didn't help.
Well,
all right,
head, shoulders, knees and toes,
If we're ignoring the bullshit of the plot, like the cutaway gags, pretty much, it opens up...
I would love to have a talking cat.
It opens up with the treasure hunting aspect, where it's Francisco saying, like, oh, we have this map to this thing of this stuff. Fake accent, obviously. And then they just walk around town for a while, looking at random shit, saying, hey, meet me at this beach in an hour. Or actually, no, they said the boats. They never got to the boats. They said, meet me at the boats, and then they met at a beach. And then they looked around at the...
That means that David doesn't have a boat.
That means he couldn't get access to one. He's like, guys, can I please have a boat? We already filmed this scene.
Come on, please. Can you just give me a boat? David, you're drunk. I know, but can you drive the boat?
Point being, at that point, he killed Francisco, dragged his body back to the thing. At this point, another person got tied.
No. He kills Francisco on the beach, and when it cuts back to him, they're on the lawn.
They're on...
And he just drags him off of the frame.
By the way,
I'm like, where did he go? Where did he bring him? He's like, did he bring him back home? He's like, you're going in my basement.
We haven't mentioned, this is David's house again. It's not the nice, modern house.
Oh, yeah, it's still David's house.
Oh, I'm diverging from my divergent. We are still, at the very beginning, we were like, Matt, he's showing locations.
It's town.
He's in, oh my god. Are we going to have this outside of his house?
And nope! All takes place inside this mansion.
Except for the outside on the street scenes. That was... You were happy.
Oh, there was this one shot where he's following one of the characters, and then all of a sudden he pans up to this guy holding a shirt next to him, like, this guy!
This guy had a shirt like he was trying to sell, and the one actor like walked right up in front of him, and then dodged to the left, and I guess David didn't tell him what to do in that situation, because they walked right at the guy, and then away again.
No, he didn't look away. It cut after
Oh yeah,
that.
he kept on turning out.
He's like, what are you?
But,
what's your number?
After that
You want to be in the movie?
After that point, the reporter shows up at the house. There are a few things that happens in between them, but it's non-consequential. The reporter shows up at the house, and after that point, it's first off, every time they enter a new room, a new guy is introduced.
There's
like every
so
time.
many characters.
They listed them off in the credits, and I was like, okay.
I have no idea who any of them are.
You got Sean, you got Clay, you got... And Josh. Josh, I remember.
You've got the meat.
You got the meat. There you go.
Got the meat.
After that point, though, it's literally all these guys just saying, yeah, I don't trust Sean. Yeah, I don't trust Sean either. Sean's a dick. Fuck Sean. And then
Sean's never there.
Sean never comes in.
And then all of a sudden he's just back. He's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing with my laptop? Give me that. What are you? I'm from Atlantis. Oh. Fuck. And then another guy gets tied up in the shower. End.
Alright. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Hold on.
Final thoughts.
No. Real quick.
Final thoughts.
Hold on. Two things. One, the technical stuff. We're just going to lump it all into one.
Alright, and also one thing about that very last going blue, it was 3 shots.
3.
The exact same shots. So it wasn't 3 angles. It was 3 shots that were repeated for how long?
The last one was almost 2 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes and
2 minutes.
15 seconds of this film were people struggling. They only did it 4 times. 8 minutes and 15 seconds.
And 6 minutes of this film was people swimming in a pool.
Swimming and splashing, and yeah.
And also singing in a hot tub.
Yeah, singing in the hot tub. Oh my fucking god.
Is like, I'm going to keep on.
Why do you need to pad? Why? Just do the fucking movie.
Because the thing is, though, and this is true, and actually there's a really interesting article in IndieWire that was about this, about running time. Feature-length films are a lot easier to distribute than short films. And the problem is, one of the staples, one of the stigmatisms of short films is that they're not complete ideas. So if you have this idea... This is the funny thing is, alright, David Duchovny's, one of his first movies was Creepazoids.
Okay.
The movie was 68 minutes long.
It's not really a feature, is
it? That movie has a lot of fucking padding. This guy's been padding movies since the 80s.
God damn it.
I mean, like, you know, it's bad. Like, like, David, you've been successful at this. You've been doing.
You got a good house.
You've been doing this shit for years, and if that is your house, you've been doing very well. Congratulations, I'm happy for you. But
you have more padding than a teenage bra.
Teenage bras. What are those? I've only been seeing mildly milfy MILFs and dudes in tiny whities for the entirety of these movies.
Okay.
Are we going to see? I know this is going to I know this is going to sound horribly sleazy and whatnot. Are we going to see one piece of young pussy in any of these movies?
The fact that they're all rated TV-14, no.
I mean, just I'm not saying like any of the sleaze and whatnot. Just say some younger girls. Like, I'm sorry, I'm straight. I like to see this shit.
That's really the problem.
We're not the demographic of these movies. I mean, that is a real issue with these things. I mean, like, but at the same time, though, I've seen softcore porn that is way better and less It's less padded out than porn. I mean, like, sorry. This is more padded out than porn.
Oh,
porn is less padded out than this movie. Mm-hmm. The padding in porn is the fucking.
Yeah,
and whatnot. And
it is.
And the funny thing is, in softcore porn, you don't see anything. And actually, even better, if you go straight to erotica, which is R-rated porn, it's not even softcore porn, it's only female nudity. You don't even see dude nudity whatsoever.
And I guess that's technically what this is, except we don't have any females to see nude.
You don't even have full nudity and whatnot. Like, you have, like, full female nudity usually in the erotica films, like the Emmanuelle series, or else movies by Tinto Brass. Like, like, yes, I watch a lot of porn. I'm sorry. But erotica is different. According to Tinto Brass, porn is to give you an erection, erotica is to give you emotions. I think that's an interesting philosophy.
This doesn't give me either.
This gives me a headache. It gives me a headache. It gives me angst, wrath.
Okay, last thing, before we can go to final thoughts. Name a positive thing.
Name a positive?
Name a positive.
It's over.
No, we got to say something besides that.
See, the thing is, though, like...
the sound wasn't terrible?
The death of Francisco.
The death of Francisco, yeah. He breaks a log over his head. This giant-ass log.
It's hysterical, too, when he picks it up. He's like...
Walk, walk, walk. And then it cuts away to the ocean. Yeah, that was...
A lot of ocean shots, by the way.
Oh, so much water. So much water!
There was so much water. I had to pee so bad.
I still have to pee. That's the whole reason I'm angsty. Anyway. So
just flood of fluid.
Francisco's death was laughably bad, and that was okay.
But it was edited competently.
Wait. One line. The Atlantean guy comes out and is like, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, I'm just showing them a cat video on YouTube. Reasonable excuse. I like it.
In this day and age, it actually works.
Yes. All right. And that's so final thoughts. Say it.
Final thoughts. This movie, it's still a downhill trend in the 1313 films. It's not as bad as Cougar Cult, but I think it's just because I've come to expect this shit from it now.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Cougar Cult was so unbearable because I was so unused to the long durations of rubbing. But
they give up rubbing for water.
Yeah, they give up rubbing for water and struggling in blue. Because the rubbing happened a lot with blue with it. But yeah, other than that, this movie is just a really just a limp dick attempt to try to create some mild eroticism in a otherwise confounded and confusing plot and story with absolutely no interest whatsoever from the cast. Dude, even porn stars put in more effort into their characters than these guys. You ever seen Pirates? Ever seen Pirates 2? That has Sasha Grey in that one. It's not too bad.
Okay, my final thoughts.
Go ahead and watch it.
No, stay.
Well, stay for him and whatnot, then go check it out. Yeah. I advocate it. I actually recommend it. It's not too bad.
Don't watch with parents.
Don't know. A different type of Pirates movie.
All right. My final thoughts. Thank you for that. My final thoughts. It just never fucking ended. Ever. I'm still concerned that the movie's still going and we're recording this without seeing the end. There was no good, just like, okay, that is an ending. No, the fact that the big twist happened at the end, where it's like, oh, I'm from Atlantis. Holy shit!
Oh my god.
And then they had the nerve to have another guy, a brand new guy, just come into the house like, guys, hello, hey, anyone here? Huh, I guess I'll just hop in the shower then. Oh my god, I'm trapped! Oh jeez, let me struggle with my acid out for 15 minutes! Ah!
And they popped their asses out.
Oh, they did. They really did. The fact that they could
like
do that just took away any sort of, like, feeling from it. If they ended it when Sean and the Atlantean just disappeared into the fourth dimension, seriously, just take my word on that one. When Sean and the Atlantean disappeared into the fourth dimension, if they just ended it on that, nothing else, I'd be like, okay.
Just that sentence. When Sean and the Atlantean disappear into the fourth dimension.
I know.
The fact that happens boggles the mind.
And then they go to another blue one. It robs the ending, really. And fuck if there was any content in the middle or the beginning. But the fact that you couldn't even end it. That's just... Okay. Would I recommend... I would recommend the Rob and the Atlantean disappearing into the fourth dimension. That's about all I can say. I wouldn't recommend the water scenes because the rubbing was at least funny for the first time. The water scenes aren't even funny. The struggling scenes aren't even
starts
funny.
splashing.
Yeah. That's probably the best line that involved the pool. It's like, yeah, well, I'm going to hop in his pool first. Strips off his bathing trunks to reveal tighty whities, and then the other guy's on the recliner. It's a good idea.
Look, this is how pornos start. I just want to... All of a sudden, it's just like Marvin Gaye starts playing... Wow, 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 wow.
I can feel it try, baby. Anyway, so I would not recommend at all.
No.
Not even from the last one. Overall, it's just a bad film. It's not as bad as Cougar Cult. He's right in that. But it's the same problem we had with Taint Light and Sandy Hook. They were terrible. Absolutely god-awful terrible. That every time that we saw that much of a film, it shifted our entire scale. We had a new bottom of the barrel. And therefore, any time that it's even slightly above the bottom of the barrel, we're like, at least it's not this film.
It's not as bad as Sandy Hook.
It's getting harder and harder to rank it based off of our Taint Light and Sandy Hook ideals.
So send us some really nasty entries and whatnot.
Fuck you.
Unless they ain't nasty like the guinea pig movies, because I don't care for them.
Alright, you know what? We're fucking done. Alright, next film, what is it?
Frankenqueen.
Frankenqueen. You know what? Good. Alright, it can't be any fucking worse than a goddamn Atlantis. Did somebody say Atlantis? Okay. The fuck was that?
He won't leave. He's eating all my food and snorting coke in the bathroom.
All bad boys want some more, it's